So I'm here with Janet this afternoon and we've been having a lovely time doing our bits of craft, and what I'm going to show you is what I've been making, which are these flowers. I've got a variety of ones here that I've made that hopefully you can see, and they're kind of shabby chic flowers, so you can put them on a hat or put them on your clothes, or you could even put them on a wristband on your wrist. That'd be rather lovely. This blue one here, some rather gorgeous patterns. And what I got was, very luckily, a lovely bag of offcuts of fabric from a fabric shop. I went in and just asked them, it's where they make clothes for people, and I asked if they got any offcuts, and they've produced a huge bag of bits and pieces, and I gave them a few quid, and they let me, and I came home with my bag of offcuts and had a wonderful time rummaging through it. And then I decided with some of these lovely pieces of fabric here, which are like these are some of the bits that I got in the bag, that I would actually make some of these flowers. So what I'm going to show you is how I went about doing it, and it's all about burning things. So if you've got a lovely scented candle, you can use that and it'll help you relax as well. You can keep these around here so you can see them. First of all, you just need to cut your bits of fabric into sort of squares, rectangles. These are a bit more rectangular than square, but I just did it by eye. If you're a very organised person, you could probably measure and cut it beautifully square. And then you just need to cut slits. Just move it out of the way a minute while I just do this bit. Cut slits halfway along each side, and then come into the middle and just leave a little bit of space in the middle there. So if we come to this side here, come down again, and here. Fascinating watching me cut bits of fabric. There we go. And the final one. There we go. And then to get this lovely rumpled effect around the edges, we're going to use a candle. So obviously be careful you haven't got anything in the way of the candle that's going to catch light. And what I'm doing, just to get that there, very gently just go around the edges of your piece of fabric, hold it near the flame, be careful, don't burn your fingers. It takes a little bit of practice. The first attempts were not as good, and you just let the fabric just gradually melt around the edges, and what happens as it melts, it starts to crinkle up and make these beautiful petals. So all you need is a bit of nice relaxing music in the background, and you just sit and melt fabric. That one's going quite crinkly around the edge. There we go. So I'm just going to do this one to show you. So I would say about 3 or 4 layers, and probably make your squares just slightly smaller as you go along, so that you can layer them up. So like with this one, so you've got different layers. You can use different fabrics or use the same fabric. I'm keeping my eye on this carefully because I don't want to melt my finger. And I actually saw someone doing this online, and I thought, oh, I really would love to have a go at it. And I'd just been waiting to the opportunity to have a go, and oh, whoops, that happens sometimes. Just blow it out, and if it burns too much, you can actually just cut the edge off and then just melt around it again. It doesn't matter too much on a piece of fabric like this, because this has got a pattern on it anyway. It's when you do it on a lovely white flower like the one I showed you just now. I'll show you the bit on there in a minute where I had to cut several chunks out of it because I kept making a mess of it. So it actually doesn't take too long. The first time I did it, I was a bit wary of the flame, and it seemed to take me a lot longer, but I've got quicker as I've gone along. So I can actually churn them out now. And there we go, nearly there. One more edge to do after, or one more side to do after this. And what's quite good is you can actually just put the fabric over, and it just crumples it up a little bit more, so it makes it look more petal-like. So you give it a little bit more shape, a bit more texture. And what we were saying, we were looking at them earlier, they'd be quite nice to put on as a fascinator for a wedding, as a brooch. You could just fix it on a hairband. I've seen them on like children's hairbands, or for bridesmaids, things like that. So quite a lot of uses, and I'll show you in a moment. I'm just trying to get this one done. I'm trying to go a bit quick now, and that's not a good plan. Going a little bit pear-shaped. There we go. Let's crumple it up. So here we go. And some fabrics work better than others, I've found. Some catch much more quickly than others and don't work quite so well. But there we go. So let me just move that out of the way a minute. So then we've got our basic 4 petals. And then what we do is we would just make more layers. I've got some here that don't necessarily go with the blue, but yeah, what there. So you just make different size layers, and you can layer them up together. That actually looks quite exotic with the brown and the blue. And then what I've also found is if you cut a length of fabric and just cut it either side, and then just again hold that over the flame. Let's just do it with a bit of this pink just to show you. You can actually make a little stamen or something that's going to go in the middle. So like with this one, we've just got the yellow there in the middle. This is the bit where I burnt it. You can still see just a little bit where it's burnt. And I just pretend that a caterpillar's been chewing it or something. It makes it more realistic. Janet's trying not to giggle here. So if I cut this one and just make some, I'm going to cut it that way, I think. So I'm just going to cut it that way for you. Oh yeah, there's one. There's one I made earlier, as the saying goes. Couldn't be without my blue beater moment. So I've just burnt the edges quite randomly. So let's just have a go. I'll just do a couple of edges of this just so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. Are we in? Yeah. And they just kind of curl up quite nicely. So that works really nicely to just make little, they just curl around, quite like it. Got a horrible fascination with burning stuff now, Janet. So, oh, whoops. Yeah, well, that's
I quite like it when they set alight.
Do you want me to set one alight?
Yeah.
maybe one with a bit longer bit on it than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. You see, that one doesn't want to set alight. Some of them catch fire quite easily. That's just shriveling up and melting. Do be wary. Where it melts at the ends, it's really, really hot. I have mistakenly touched it. Yeah. Mind you're going to burn your fingers, so just be aware it's molten plastic essentially. So not nice, but a rather strange little thing here with our blue and the brown, and then the other brown on the top there. We could have that in. We could mix this. You can mix them up together to make a centre. Oops. So mix them up together and make a centre. However you want to do it really. Or alternatively, as we did with this one here. You see this one here? It's got the little button in the middle there as a centre, rather than using the stamen type things. So we could actually have a button in this one if we wanted to. I don't know.
Do you want
Lovely
to choose
selection
one?
Lots of selection of buttons there. There's some lovely buttons here. So we could have a rake round and see if there's something we fancy that we think could go. Gosh, I don't know. There's lots there, aren't there? They go really glitzy. Oh, that's a bit like sunflower or something. I have to say I really intended to put the blue with the browns. So just mix your colours as you want. I've got some other blue here, which is similar to the original one. This is the first one that I made this morning. And on the back of this, just want to show you on the back here, what I did when I was sewing it up, excuse the sewing because I was more into burning things than sewing things today, but I actually sewed onto the back of it a circle of felt just to make it a little bit more solid. In fact, to be honest, I will probably make it a bit bigger if when I do it on another one. And then onto that, I've sewn a little layer of felt over the top there. So with that, you could either thread through it an Alice band, or you could put a safety pin through. You might need to sew it a little bit tighter for a safety pin, or even a hair clip, so that you could then clip it into your hair. I've got a hair clip. So if I find a hair clip, just grab one out of my head. It's only one of these type of hair clips, but so you could actually put that through the band there, and then you'd be able to just actually pin it into your hair.
Exotic.
Exotic, yes, absolutely.
You want the exotic look.
The exotic look. Yeah, a night out in Queen. So there we go. Enjoy, have a go, and yeah, send us your pictures if you make some.
Thank you, Melanie.
You're welcome.